Cenat literally may be my biggest fear. You have the fame, you have the money, you have the girl, and at the end of the day, I feel like there's still something missing in his life.
Is this nigga serious?
This isn't the same Cenat. Video by Meezy. When I seen Cenat at the Streamer Awards, there was just something in his face that just looked like all the life is just gone from him. Something is up with this guy, man. He seems like a man that has big goals and wants to achieve a lot of big things, but it's what left is there to accomplish when you're already the biggest. So yeah, we're just gonna see what's really going on with Cenat and how he has changed.
2 days ago, I spread awareness on mental health and how important it is to take care of yourself. And honestly, for the past few months, I've been struggling with mental health out of self-doubt and fright of pursuing goals that I really want to achieve. And the reason I've really been in my head is because I just wanted to do more. I've gained to realize that I'm a true creator and I'm very passionate about creating. And I have other goals and things that I just want to achieve and do more of.
Over the past couple of years, Cenat has done something that has ultimately been a dream for a lot of content creators over the internet. He's risen from being that kid in his room talking to a camera, making skits with his friends, all the way up to being a household name and a staple in culture around the world. He's tackled everything from his childhood dreams, from making skits with Kevin Hart to hanging out with LeBron James. He then goes on to break Twitch, and then he disappears. No more streams, no more posts, no more chaos. And this new Cenat, one that I can say that I honestly like, should scare you more than anything he's ever done before. If you're new to this channel and you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way. Now, back into the video. Although met with massive amounts of criticisms, Cenat's Mafiathon 3 literally broke the internet. Never before seen guests, stunts, records. I mean, it was the penultimate of streaming events, something that will never be replicated again. But then, after Mafiathon ends, he disappears. No streams since October of 2020.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Them Mafiathons, I remember the first one and thinking to myself, like, dang, this is legendary, bro. Cenat he's one of them. He's one of them for sure. And seeing the last Mafiathon, it's just like, what more can you do? You got too much money, bro. You had a bed that like you had a bed with wheels that you was just driving on. That's why I was like, you just making too much money, bro. What else is there to accomplish when you're just bringing celebrity after A-list celebrities? We're not just talking about some Tubi production level actors. We're talking about big names being on your streams, and it's just a regular Tuesday for you. What else is there to climb when you're already at the top of the mountain?
That's 3 months of a break. No YouTube uploads besides the collaborations with AMP. No social media posts besides, small segments where we're seen with his girlfriend Gigi as he travels across the world. The longest break that he's taken from streaming has been the 2 weeks after Mafiathon 2. So for someone who's built a career off of consistency and chaos, this full stop was alarming to a lot of people. The next time we will see Cenat is at the 2025 Streamer Awards. And this time it's a little bit different. No more bust down Rolly Avalanche, no more iconic dreadlocks, no more chaos, no more screaming. This time, he got candid. When he went on stage to accept an award, he even opened up about him and his mental health struggles.
I hope a lot of creators in here and everybody at home and the viewers and the streamers really take care of your mental health. I just noticed that recently I just been going through things in my head, and I was able to, turn to like anime, Death Note, Naruto, recently since I've been gone, and I just been able to, find happiness within that.
Now, I noticed something about Kai when I noticed that acceptance speech. And it's something that trickled into his latest Twitter post, the one where he celebrated his birthday, talking about the things that he's been going through, the things that he's been changing in his life. It's the fact that he slowed down. I think that's the first thing that stuck out to me. There's no more off the wallness, no more jumping up and down, no more screaming. He didn't bring anybody else up on stage with him to do this acceptance speech. It was just him and his cool, calm, collected, new demeanor, I would say. The next thing that I noticed is that he was very articulate. And this also tracked into his video that he posted on Twitter. At that point, I definitely knew that this was a change from the old Kai.
I'm the baddest bitch that you have
I wasn't ready for that. Hold up.
Ever seen in your life. I can take a nigga like this, but guess what, bitch?
I see where Rakai get it from. It all makes sense now.
I got something to tell you. That little bitch, you can't fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is body shoes.
It's just Chewy. Thanks for the 50 gifted. Hey, Jarvis, open matters.
think oftentimes during that entertainment
I need a moment. Oh, I need a moment, bro.
art, while you can make a lot of people happy, you can make a lot of people satisfied, you can touch a bunch of heights with smiles and giggles and all these other things like that, you often lose yourself. I have a side tangent about how streaming has harmed a lot of the creative efforts with a lot of people. You can't like sit back, take time, reflect, you know, put pen to paper and come up with ideas that you would once have. And especially because Kai originates from the era of YouTube where he was putting out full thought out videos. Like you can see in the old YouTube eras where he started a daycare or he had his own petting zoo, you know, really thought out endeavors that showed his acting skills, the creativity that he had. And ultimately for the time, it was pretty innovative. But the nature of the beast of Twitch streaming and this new fast-paced era when it comes to content creation is that everything is going at 1,000 miles per hour. You don't get to sit down and reflect on the content.
That is true, man. That is true. Streaming is a very fast-paced environment, and everything is on the go. Everything is freestyle. Sometimes you gotta sit down. You gotta write your bars out, man. You really gotta sit there and write your bars out. You know what I'm saying? Come up with something meaningful. YouTube, I can mess up 100 times, bro. I could have 1,000 mistakes in a video, and I can edit all of those out. I can even go back and re-record. I have time to think about it before I post it. And in this era of hotheads, in this era of, you know, YN culture where everything is microwavable, there is no more thinking. And even with technology, if you think about it, bro, we're at the point where we no longer even need to use our brains. Technology is making it so easy for us, we don't need to do anything, bro. AI is replacing all of the hard work that you've ever needed to do. And I think that's why certain creators that like really take their time with cinematics and visuals and just high quality production, like the old Sneeko, like those type of creators, they're way more appreciated because they're so rare. You just don't see it anymore. Nobody's really taking their time for the craft anymore, man.
You don't get to spend too much time with your friends and family, especially when you're doing these marathon streams and you're doing whatever for whatever gets you the most amount of money. But after years of living that fast-paced lifestyle, Cenat seems to be more conscious, more aware, more reflexive of what's going on around him. And I can even notice that with his ending speech from Mafiathon 3.
I didn't know where 2025 was going to take me, coming up for so many things. I talked about this for y'all a lot. And y'all know, true core Mafia, y'all know a lot of the stuff that go on. And I just want to say I love y'all so much for supporting me throughout my years. MGM over everything. Let me get a MGM over everything right now, y'all. It's been an amazing month. And I want y'all to be able to really take care of yourselves, chat. Genuinely work on that goal, work on whatever you want to do, because you can achieve it. I love you guys so much. Work on your health, work on your friendships, work on your relationships, work on you, and get a closer connection with God, because God is amazing. Without Jesus Christ, nothing is possible. Always remember that.
Now, this seemed to usher in a...
Cenat literally may be my biggest fear. Because we always talk about, you know, failure, making mistakes, rejection. I have a different aspect or perspective that I look at it. I'm more afraid of succeeding and it's still not being enough. And I don't want to project because obviously I don't know Cenat. But when I seen his face at the Streamer Awards, the way that, like, I don't know, just the life out of his face, just accepting the award. And there's moments in Mafiathon where you just look at him and it's like, nigga, you have whatever celebrity you can name in the business standing right next to you. And it's like, it always feels like a fake reaction because how much more can you surprise yourself? You have everything that you've probably ever wanted growing up. You have the fame, you have the money, you have the girl, you have the eyes on you. And at the end of the day, I feel like there's still something missing in his life. And that is what I'm afraid of. Being at the top of the mountain and still looking down and thinking, damn, maybe life was better back then.
New age of Cenat. One where he's maturing more. One where he is addressing some things that potentially he was self-conscious about and working on his growth and development as a person. He acknowledged on his Instagram that he had been speaking better simply due to the fact that he had been reading more. Something that I know for a fact will help in his pursuit of acting. Another big thing that he addressed was his struggles with mental health.
I just want to let you guys know that sometimes it is important to take care of your mental health. And honestly, it's been getting better. It has. But out of frustration and fear, I just been in my head for some reason. I never had this feeling before, but I want it to be known that I truly want to create. And I don't know if I'm getting mature or I'm just looking things at a broad point of view, but I am so passionate about creating in general. And I'm excited to show you guys what's going on.
I think oftentimes, while it is easy for us to forget because they make so much money, they have fame, popularity, notoriety, et cetera, is that these content creators are human. Sure, they might not deal with the same everyday struggle that you and I deal with. We're unemployed, milk is up, gas is up, eggs is up, but they still deal with a plethora of issues. And when I think about all the issues that Cenat has had to face this year, it is easy to see how his mental health can be afflicted. Now, I'm not gonna be
It's so funny because we're all the same. We're really all the same. And when you're broke, when you have financial problems, those other issues, emotional and mental problems, they don't go away. They're still there. It's just you gotta come up with rent. So you're not really that focused on it. Like when you're broke, the only thing you really can care about is being not broke. The only thing you can care about is money. And then when you get money, you realize, oh, I've still had other problems that I've never dealt with and addressed.
dead horse, but we've pretty much covered them every step of the way. The beef with Aiden Ross and the Twitter comms, all the allegations of him supporting things like Israel, the chaotic nature of his friends and who he's aligned himself with. Him being one of the biggest creators in the world means that his name and his face on a title and thumbnail means that your video can have ultimate success. So with that being said, the drama pages have picked up on any little thing he's done and critiqued it to death, you know, only for their monetary gain, but not factoring in how this could affect him. The clip pages, him building the school, all the people that rely on him to show up on a daily basis, etc., etc.
That school stuff was so weak. When they was trying to get that off, I was like, yeah, they just hating. They just hating.
Every single day. Hell, even when he tries to do something positive, be a little bit more candid, show some growth, and people in the community try to give him any praises, they still get criticism for it.
Maybe I'm not rich enough to understand why Cenat is struggling with his mental health. Maybe I'm just not in the same echelon as him, and I don't get how a multi-millionaire who gets money from his fans off of subscribers, who just made $5 million off of Mafiathon 3, is struggling with mental health. Maybe I just don't understand what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, see, it's literally just a broke mentality. It is a broke and surviving mentality, bro. And it's, oh my God, I really don't want to dive into this shit. But it literally is just a survivor's mentality. When you're put in situations to survive, every other problem that you have still exists in your life, but you're only trying to survive. What's more important? You dealing with your daddy issues or you having food? Like, oh my, bro, there was a quote from the movie Him. Well, Marlon Wayne said, if you're in jail and you're starving to death and you have the opportunity to either eat or be free, do you really have a choice? Because you're starving to death. If you don't eat, if you take this meal, you will stay in jail, but you will survive. You will still be caged in. And being free means that you're starving. You're about to die. What freedom is there if you're about to die on your deathbed? I don't know if that really makes sense for real, but I feel like if you locked in, if you get what I'm saying, like you get what I'm saying. When you broke, it really feels like nothing else matters but a check.
Maybe this motherfucker is looking for sympathy for y'all. He hopped on this app and told us he's been struggling to achieve these goals he wants to achieve. All he wants to do is create and just keep creating. Nigga, you didn't create that school yet. You took all this money from all these people. All y'all motherfuckers supporting this kid, bro. You have to stop.
Kai triggers people, and I don't know what it is. Like, the chat troll me if I glaze it over, they'll just say D1. But there'll be think pieces about me and Kai if I glaze this nigga Kai. Why? Why is it Kai though? Like, I can see the difference. Would I glaze Kai and if I glaze another one of the homies? For some reason, when I talk good about Kai, something behind it, gang.
Yeah.
Why?
Bro, y'all are hating on him when he's expressing himself, man. Like, everyone in this chat has been in their own head, and that's a fact. It's always girls support girls. Yo, why don't men ever support other men and their mental health? I don't understand that shit.
Into that, looking things
Never
at a
understood
broad
that.
point
I
of
never understood that shit. Like, you have a content creator who's not like selling himself short, right? He's creating content. He's not just taking brand deals and saying fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make money. Like, he's talking about creating content and he's helped people. I really never understood the hate. I'm gonna be honest with you. I look up to him a lot with content creation, and honestly, that's how I talk about this all the time. But that's how I did the Elden Ring shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what y'all doing, gang?
It's the same with Mr. Beast. There's be so many think pieces about what he's doing, and all he's doing is nigga just be helping people, bro. I do think it's maybe a little different with Cenat, simply because I don't know. That nigga was just he was just a dirty nigga from the Bronx.
You both from the Bronx, so I know that you dirty.
He was just a dirty nigga from the Bronx, bro. He was a regular person, just like me and you. And when you see that, and you see them get to bigger heights than you could ever think of, what other choice you got to do but hate? What other choice do you got to do but hate? Because you know you will never be there. You saw him as a dirty nigga from the Bronx, and you just stayed a dirty nigga from the Bronx. You ain't got no choice but to hate.
That has still found a way to grow as a man. He still found a way to zig when everybody told him to zag. He still found a way to go positive when everybody's preaching and pushing negative. And I already know how this video is gonna go from a comment section, from a select group of people, but I can honestly say that it is very refreshing that we can have a creator be this candid and grow like this, and it be shown and praised and celebrated by a selection of his peers.
After the Mafia-thon, this is the least I've ever seen Kai, right? And I'm gonna be honest, Kai is he's a totally different person. Like, when Kai came inside, and when he came inside the award, he's posed, he's calm. He just, it's like he got tunnel vision, you feel what I'm saying? He has a goal, he's working on clothes, and he's blocking out all the noise, you feel what I'm saying? But Kai was just so happy to see his friends again. He was so happy to see all the other creators again, you feel what I'm saying? Like, he was coming to have a good time, you feel what I'm saying? And he has grown so much. So Kai, he could have took the mic. Kai, he could have responded. He could have said a joke about her. He could have went back and forth. He ain't do none of that. You feel me? Everything that she said, she only was able to get one reaction out of him. She only was able to get one reaction out of this man, and it was this face right here. Like, I'm super proud of Kai. Like, we had a long ass talk yesterday and right after awards.
I think one of the problems with the internet is being highlighted in the reception of this latest Cenat video. The internet freezes people in time. And what I mean by that is they don't really give you the opportunity to change and grow. Now, I get it from some perspectives. If you are saying anything that is racist, homophobic, transphobic, all that stuff like that, it is very easy for somebody to say, you know what, this is who you always are. But very rarely have we ever seen creators go on a different path or different arc where they are allowed to just mature, where they're allowed to put down some of the things that got them to this level, the immature antics, the loudness, the chaos, the jokes, etc., because people always want to put them in this box, and it's hard to get them out of it. And the reality is that growth ultimately harms the algorithm. It breaks it. Kai going from somebody who is immature, loud, aggressive, up and down, etc., to somebody who is more calm, more focused, more stable, doesn't do good for the blog pages. It doesn't do good for the commentary channels. It doesn't do good for the clip farmers. It doesn't do good for these clip pages that take everything out of context. It means that they can't get their negative clickbaity thumbnails, titles, clips, and stuff that are taken out of context out. But it's interesting because they still poke and prod and poke and prod and poke and prod until that creator blows up, crashes out, etc. And then once they're in jail, hospitalized, or, you know, taking a break from the internet, all of a sudden it becomes, oh my gosh, thoughts and prayers, etc. We say that mental health matters, but it only matters when a creator slows down and is not visible as much. You know, Agent said something very powerful and interesting about communities and the way that internets can infiltrate and poison them in relation to like how it can affect the creator.
Like, I see how toxic shit gets on the internet, but I just want our shit to be,
Bro, Agent has lost so much weight, bro. It is so weird seeing people, like, their faces when they lose weight. They look so weird.
I don't ever want what we have to go there, bro. Because it's like, it's so easy for it to go there. It's so easy to you know, let your ego pick a problem with people and stuff like that. Look, I've been making content since I was 12. I love doing this shit, okay? Doesn't matter what form, whether it's fucking Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, we're everywhere, bro. Feel me? I have been making content on the internet for longer than I haven't been making content. It's literally like in my DNA at this point. It feels weird to not do it. You get what I'm saying? So, but I see how shit is trending and I don't like it, bro. I don't like it because I don't want to be part of it. It just come with too much bullshit. And I get it. Sometimes the drama is good for views and shit like that. It's a nice stimmy, bro. I'll be honest. It's a nice stimmy anytime you get in drama. Trust me. I think what's the last drama we got in? The Fredo shit in like fucking 2018. It's a stimmy in terms of views, but I want to preserve what we got here, bro.
All of that stuff that comes with streaming, creating content, YouTube, Facebook, etc., at the end of the day, it may not even be worth it. I don't think we've seen the best version of Kai. And I know that that's hard to say because he's done some of the most record-breaking, outlandish, biggest dreams that anybody could ever dream of when they first go and get their camera or prop up their phone and get a mic and, create a YouTube account and upload a video. I think this next phase will be his best phase. It's not with bigger numbers. It's not with bigger celebrity collabs. It's not with longer streams. It's not with outrageousness. It's sustainability. It's longevity. It's passion. It's purpose. This isn't about to be some sort of decline that we see. This is going to be a transition into something that is more happy, more healthy, more fulfilling and purposeful. I think the best Kai that we've seen hasn't even been seen yet, but I'm here for the ride no matter what.
I do agree to a certain extent that as a person, right? We haven't seen the best of who Cenat is, but we also don't know Cenat on a personal level. And the changes that he's gonna go to, the man that he's gonna become, is not something that we're like physically going to be able to experience. And I think unless he goes into another lane of content, I do think this is the highest that Cenat is gonna go. Just because I don't think he wants to go any. What is the point? 1 million subs. 50 million subs. Like, it's just going to be a number on the screen at some point. There is no way you're telling me that when he hit 1 million subs, it hit the same when he hit 100,000 or whatever number. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first time that he achieved it, it's different. I do think he's becoming numb to the numbers. I think the better version of Cenat, or the heights that he's going to take, is going to have to be in a different lane. He's already taken over. The only thing that he can do from this point on is help mentor the people under him. As far as content creating, live streaming, I really just don't see what else can he do that would be just as impactful or more. I don't know. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. Uploading every day of December. It's getting tough. We getting through though. We getting through.